my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end of the day, I take home my holiday. Oh, I'm tired out. My knees not right away. Till the tears run down from my eyes. Oh, somebody, somebody, ooh, somebody, did anybody find me? Somebody to love. Every day, I've tried, but everybody wants to put me down. They say I'm gone crazy. They say I got a lot of water in my brain. Oh, I got no common sense, got nobody there to
Okay, welcome to Pittville School Radio. It's Queen, of course. Somebody to Love, one of my all-time favourite groups. And of course, I was brought up as a young teenager with Queen. Somebody to love. I better not do any more singing, that's that for me. Okay, welcome to Pittville School Radio. So today, what we're going to do? Wow, we've interviewed a lot of staff, we've interviewed a lot of students. It's activity day 2. We went around yesterday. We were hoping to do this live, but we've got a few technical issues that we'd like to sort out. And hopefully, come the autumn term, we might have a live radio show going every Friday morning, a morning breakfast show, 8 till 8:30, followed by an afternoon show. Now, the morning breakfast show would be give out notices, things that are going on in the following week, like Friday's school notices, Friday notices for students, and also a bit of music. Now, the afternoon, we hope to have a theme and some guests, either guest teachers or guests, people from outside, guest students, for example, the anti-bullying ambassadors, sporting achievements. So we might have a captain of a team comes along and has an interview, or we might, or we will be sending roving reporters out to report on after game results and have interviews with captains, etc. Okay, so what we've been doing this week, myself and Sam Mart have put together a little show where we've gone and we've interviewed several people around the school, staff and students. So what we'll do today is we'll play a little bit of music, followed by an interview from member staff, followed by an interview from a student, followed by a bit more music. So we'll see how much we can put in over the next couple of hours. Okay, so I thought what we'd do now is we play an interview of a member of staff, and we're going to start off with the English department and Miss Mills. She was one of the first people who volunteered to come and have an interview, and this is what happened yesterday when myself and Sam interviewed her. Let's see what goes on. Okay, this is your friendly presenter, Mr. McKnight. And we are finding out a little bit about what makes our staff tick, what things they get up to in their holidays, what their interests are, and some of their highlights of the year. So with me today we have Miss Mills. Hello, Miss Mills.
Hello, good morning, Mr. McKnight.
Glad you're here. And hopefully we can find out a little bit about you that we don't already know. Okay, so we're going to start off a few questions. What are your highlights from the school year?
Okay, so personally, big one for me this year was the Great Ofsted report that we got, the Good from Ofsted. Obviously, it was quite a grueling process, but I think we finally got recognition for being the great school that we actually are, and all the students and the staff worked really hard to get that recognition. So that was a personal highlight for me this year.
Yeah, it was. I think everyone was probably going to have that one somewhere. Some people might not, but have that one somewhere in their highlights, I'm sure. Right, going on a bit about yourself. Do you have any hobbies?
I'm absolutely mad for playing netball, as a lot of the students know here, because I like to organise staff games and inter-school games with other staff teams.
I like to avoid them, but carry on.
I play centre or wing attack normally. Absolutely love the game. I'm not very good at it though, by the way, but I really enjoy like the social activities as well that go with playing netball.
And obviously it keeps you fit and healthy, able to keep up for school day because you're nice and fit and healthy. Right, books. Now you are an English teacher, so I'm assuming we're going to have a great big list here. Have you read any books recently, or do you plan on reading any books over the summer? And can you tell us something about them?
Actually, Mr. Beadle lent me a book, and I think the title is It's Gonna Hurt, and it's about a junior doctor and his kind of like adventures and experiences, and it was completely captivating. I read it in about an hour, I think, cover to cover, because it was really funny.
Wasn't it a picture book then?
No, it wasn't a picture book. No.
Sorry, what was the book again? I lost
track. I think it was called It's Gonna Hurt. It's so funny. You're gonna have to read it. It's about patients coming in with like certain things stuck in orifices and etc.
Ears and
nose. Yeah, yes. It's great. Absolutely great page turner.
Right, we better move on quickly, haven't we? What's your favourite film then? You must have a favourite.
That's
film.
Really tricky.
Yeah, isn't it?
I love Quentin Tarantino.
Violence.
Yeah, and Pulp Fiction's probably my favourite film actually. It's quite
like
dark, isn't
violence,
it?
Don't you?
Quite dark. I like the character Mia. I think she's great.
They are great films. You're not really a Frozen person then?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Okay, we can see you don't mess around with Miss Right, so favourite films, TV programmes?
Oh, that's really tough. I don't watch that much TV.
Killing Eve?
Killing Eve was absolutely like
so
compulsive viewing.
Yeah.
But every day, I mean, I put the soaps on sometimes, but don't really watch too much television, to be honest with you.
No, it's time.
Spend a lot of time
we're
marking.
We're so busy, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Teaching. Mr. Gilpin, if you're listening. That we don't have time for watching TV. So, if you weren't a teacher, what do you think you'd be?
I was so desperate when I was younger to be a vet, and I did my work experience at Warden Hill Veterinary Centre.
Yeah.
And one of the most profound memories was actually holding a horse now when it was being castrated. But I wasn't particularly good at science.
Remember, we haven't had lunch yet. Before you go any further.
In fact, when I was about 4 or 5, you know, when you're asked in primary school to draw what you're going to do when you grow up, it was always a teacher. So yeah, I don't know really.
A vet? No, I wouldn't fancy that.
Different.
No, too messy, horrible. No, yeah, and it's sad as well.
Yeah, it is sad, isn't it?
I watch Super Vet sometimes. And you can guarantee by the end of that programme I have...
I'm crying.
Well, I'm not going to say it because I'm too manly.
Oh,
but possibly, yes. So TV programmes, what you would be... Have you had any jobs before becoming a teacher?
I've worked in insurance, kind of like doing administration, but nothing massive.
Nowhere near as exciting as being an English teacher.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So I've gone on to that one already. Did you have a different job before becoming a teacher? In the summer holidays, what do you get up to? Do you visit anywhere? What countries do you like to visit?
So we have literally just booked a little camping holiday in Devon, in Woolacombe. We're going to pitch a tent there, take our little dog Dottie down by the coast.
You're going to go surfing?
I can't surf. I have tried for hours on end to get my leg up on the board, but I just can't stand up on a surfboard. I really can't, but I have tried. But yeah, just being by the coast really. So we're going to stay in this country this year.
Yeah, I am too.
I'd like to travel more, really, potentially.
Yeah. You've travelled quite a bit anyway, haven't you?
Well, I did spend a year in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That was quite an interesting year of my life.
What did you do there?
So I taught English in a private school over there, which was a very different experience to working in the UK.
Do you remember Cavit? Cavit used to be in my tutor group, come from Sri Lanka.
Yes, no, I remember you introduced me to him.
Yeah. Well, he's back in Sri Lanka now. I've seen a few things for, I think it's his dad on Facebook.
It's a great country, it really is. So diverse in terms of landscape. There's coastal regions, green country, the people, they're so welcoming there.
What
it's
faith
lovely.
is it there? What's the main faith? Sri Lanka.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Buddhism's very popular as well.
Yeah, I recall seeing something on the news recently, and I can't remember what it was. Okay, what are you looking forward to when we start back in September?
Meeting my new classes and just getting on with things, really. I'm keeping my year 10 into year 11, so they're going to be working hard towards their GCSEs, and they're a really lovely group, so I'm looking forward to seeing them as well. And yeah, just get them stuck in, really.
Yeah.
And then Christmas.
I've got to admit, it takes a week or so to get going, but
that's it, isn't it?
We're running, aren't we?
But don't you find, though, Mr. McKnight, the years just fly by now, don't they?
Well, when you get to a certain age, Miss Mills, I'm not sure if you're there yet.
I am absolutely there.
I think teaching is one of those things, it breaks the year down into little slots. And a week goes, and then a half term goes, and then a term goes, and then you got the year, and you're gone, you're into the summer holidays. This year seems to have gone faster than any year since. And I keep getting those adverts on my YouTube account now, 50 plus insurance, life insurance.
You are never older than 50, Mr. McKnight.
Yeah, well, a bit of VAT. So, yeah, I'm a little bit older than 50.
You don't look it at all.
Closing, well, if you had to round up, I suppose I'll be 60, but let's round down for 55, shall we? Anyway, thanks very much for joining us today. Thanks for coming to be interviewed.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry, I didn't ask you, what activity are you doing today?
Archery.
Right.
But Mr. Bannister's really in charge of it. I'm just saying, release. Go and collect your arrows, guys.
Right.
They've been really good out there, actually. They're getting better.
Yeah,
so
you're safe out there, are you?
Absolutely.
Or do we need to keep an eye on you?
No, totally safe.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Put a bit of music on in a minute, and hopefully some music you'll like.
Thank you very much.
And have a great summer holiday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, that was the amazing Miss Mills. Isn't she so full of enthusiasm? I don't know where she gets it from. But she's right, we are going to play a bit of music. Or I said we were going to play a bit of music, because I did say that we're going to play teacher followed by student followed by music. But the interviews are quite long, especially the staff, they like talking, don't they? Especially some of the staff. So I'll play a bit of music now, and then we'll get into going around some of the activities and seeing what students are up to, because we got an awful lot on today. There's a lot on in school, so we've managed to go around and talk to people from crafts and on sporting activities, archery, and quite a few other things as well. So we'll get on to that. Now, you might have noticed in that interview I had a very, very squeaky chair, so I've changed that. I've got one of these uncomfortable, yes, the ones that you students have to sit on, a blue chair, but at least it's not squeaking. So if I'm right, and I've set this right, because what we set ourselves a little studio up in my room 13. We got a studio mixer, an iPad, a computer, and I've also got a CDJ, which is a bit of DJ equipment for playing CDs and MP3s. And I've got that set up, but me and technology, sometimes we don't always mix. I prefer playing music on vinyl, which is what I do at the gigs I run. But this one's on a CD, and if I'm right, this should be the Stereophonic Sound. Have a nice day.
Francisco Bay, past me 39, early PM, can't remember what time. Got the waiting cab, stopped at the red light. Address I'm sure of, but it turned out just right. It started straight off, coming here as hell. That's his first words, we asked what he meant. He said, where you from? We told him a lot. We take a holiday, is this what you want?
Phonics there. Have a nice day, and hopefully you're all having a nice day, whatever activities you are doing. Hopefully the weather stays dry for the guys at Lido. Make sure you get that suntan cream on. You'll certainly be needing that. Right, I've got to press stop on a button over it. Oh, look, there you go. That's a problem when you're not used to this technology. I've pressed go again on the next track, which I didn't want to do. So like I said, this is Pitfall School Radio. We'll be airing live in the autumn term. All things being well, at the moment we're just recording things, and like I said yesterday and today, we've been going around interviewing staff and students about their experiences, their activities, and some of their highlights of the year. So I went around the field yesterday and I come across this young man. This is Tommy, and he's talking about what he's up to. Let's have a listen to Tommy. Press the button. Okay, I'm on the front field here, seeing what's going on. There's a bit of archery going on over there with Mr. Bannister. I don't know what they're up to. Do anyone know what they're up to? It's just football, is it? Okay. Okay, so I'm here with a few students, and Tommy has agreed to be interviewed for the school radio. So I'm just going to ask him a few questions. What activities are you doing, Tommy?
All these sports, but like I did football. But then I'm going to do archery in a minute, and then, yeah.
Okay, so archery, are you... Oh, wow. Don't point it this way, will you? Because I need to have a school holiday. So, tomorrow, what are you up to tomorrow, Tommy?
I'm going fishing. I don't know where it is, though.
Do you fish in your own time?
Yeah.
Where do you do your fishing?
In Turley, and I used to go to the old spot before it got closed down. Oh,
yeah, I remember that. What's the biggest fish you ever caught, then?
15 pounder, yeah.
Remember, they always exaggerate these fishermen. They say, I caught one this big, and really it was a little one. I used to go fishing because I lived in Tewkesbury, and we got the two rivers there, and I used to have a licence, and also at the bottom of my garden I had a Carrant Brook, and I used to fish in there, but most of the time, you know, you get an old gudgeon or stickleback come out. There wasn't a lot in that one. Anyway, what are you up to in the holidays? Anything exciting?
No, not really. I'm going to go camping, that's it, really.
Well, camping's good fun. Where about you going camping, Tommy?
Breen.
Yeah, I like Breen. That's good fun there. Do you meet up with some of your mates on the holidays and do things?
Yeah.
Yeah, so who are you meeting up with?
My mates.
Oh, he doesn't want to name them. That's not a bad idea, really. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your summer, and I'll see you again in September.
Alright, thank you.
Cheers. Okay, that was the fantastic Tommy. He gave me an interview yesterday, one of my first interviews yesterday, actually. Very brave for people to do this, because a little bit nervous about doing things like going on a radio show. And he did quite a good job there, didn't he? Okay, so I said we're going to play some music, but what we'll do, before we go in to an interview with a number of members of staff, we'll play a bit more music, and again, if I'm right, and I've got the right track on, this should be Texas and Your Inner Smile.
Something like loving and simply and so
Texas there and In a Smile. I used to love that track. Still do. As I do most of them that are on today. Handpicked by myself. My phone's gone off. I should have turned that off. Anyhow, I'm handpicked by myself. But right, let's get back to a few roving interviews. So we're going around with an iPad and a microphone, recording some of these things. So they might not all be professional, but the students did a good job. It was myself. It was letting us down. But you might notice when I was interviewing Tommy there, I said, wow. And the reason I said that was because I was watching from about 100 yards away from the archery, and a young lady shot, and you could see she'd done archery before, so I thought I'm going to go and have a chat with her because that looked fantastic. And the young lady I'm talking about is Faith. So this is what happened when I went to interview Faith yesterday. Let's have a listen. I am over with the archery outside. It's lovely weather out here. In fact, I'm a bit warm, and watching some people do some archery, and I'm with a student now. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Faith Sheen.
Okay, so we're with Faith. Now, I was watching you just now, and you got it right in the gold. So I said, you must have done this before. Can you tell us how many times you've done it before and what you've been doing?
I've done it from like year 6, so I'm just sort of doing.
So in primary school?
Yeah, I went to a competition.
Oh wow, do you compete now, or is it something, would you like to get back into that?
Yeah, I would.
Well, looking at your shots, I think you could be winning a few competitions because that was excellent. How long have you been doing this today?
Since the start of the day.
Okay, and you must have shot a lot of arrows then. Are you doing anything different tomorrow?
No, I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh, you are actually crazy on archery, aren't you? And you'll get a suntan at this rate as well. So, school year, what's been your favourite bit of this school year?
I think just doing my art lessons and stuff like that.
So you enjoy, because it's GCSE obviously, so you enjoy doing GCSE art. You're hoping to get a good grade?
Yeah, definitely.
So do you think you're going to get one?
Possibly.
No, be confident, I know you will. So what are you going to get up to in the holidays? Anything exciting?
I think I'll probably just sleep and go see my cousins.
Do you know what? That answer comes up nearly every student. I'm going to have a good sleep. Anyway, nice to talk to you, Faith, and I'll let you get back to your archery.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, that was a wonderful Faith, and she really was good. I mean, if that was Agincourt, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that, I can tell you, because she was absolutely fantastic. So one more interview from the archery. Rene here, he's in my tutor group. A little bit shy, but fantastic lad at Rene. Is so positive. So this is Rene. So let's have a little listen to what he had to say. Okay, we're still over at the archery. Who am I with now?
Rene Marco.
Okay, so we're here with Rene. Rene's in my tutor group, so I do know him, but this is radio, so we've got to paint a picture, haven't we? So how are you getting on with the archery?
Just learning, I guess.
Have you hit the target?
Not yet.
No? So, well, you're only a beginner, aren't you? Yeah? So, is this your first time doing archery?
Not in a long time, but not my first time now.
No. So where did you do archery before?
Like in my primary, it was like on a trip a long time ago. I don't remember where we went.
Yeah. So you went on a trip and did some archery. I've only done it once myself. That was on a trip. So you're in my tutor group. What's your favourite bit of the your favourite lesson in the school?
I can't say.
It must be RE then. Of course. Okay. What are you getting up to in the summer? Anything exciting?
Don't know.
Not travelling?
I think so. I'm not.
Yeah. So you might be going Slovakia?
Not Slovakia. Somewhere in England.
You're going to go somewhere in England. Okay. So hopefully seaside.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Do you swim in the sea?
Yeah.
I do, but you know it's a bit chilly. I have to have a wetsuit on, and when you get my age, you need a bit of a wetsuit. Anyway, nice to talk to you, Rene. I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, like I said, that was Rene from my tutor group. They'd all been taking part in the archery, and they all seem to be enjoying it. I went over there again today. They were all doing really, really well. There was a lot of them doing it today. Anyway, on with a bit more music. Like I said, this is Pittville School Radio, hopefully coming at you live from September, certainly towards the end of September. We need a space for a studio. There's a few equipment and software issues, But as soon as we go up and go in, it should be great. If not, we will record the first few sessions like I'm doing now, and then we'll air them on a Monday morning and lunchtime. But hopefully going live Friday morning breakfast show, followed by the Friday lunch and tutor shows for Feel Good Friday. Okay, now the next record I'm going to put on a bit of a disco beat from a few years back, and I remember it was really massive in France, and then I think it was big in France and the continent before it came over here. But it does go on a bit. I can just see now, I've got it up on my iPad and it's 5 minutes 32, so I've cut a bit and I'll probably cut a bit at the end. But what a great track. Have a listen to this. This is the Superman Lovers and Starlight. Superman lovers there. Like I said, it goes on. There's another minute of this. If it was me dancing, I'd probably have to have a rest by now, but it's not. I'm just sitting down here playing the tunes. Superman lovers and Starlight, great track. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to play another interview from a teacher, member of staff, should we say. Now, this member of staff's been with us for a long time, and she's leaving us, so I thought it was really important that we get an interview with Mrs. Hall before she goes into her retirement. So we're going to have a little listen to see what she had to say. Here we go. Okay, we're here with our third staff interview of the day, and now we're with Mrs. Hall, the school librarian. We were just talking about how long you've been with here. How long have you been here?
31 years.
31 years. Isn't that a long time? Sometimes I think I've been here a long time, and I've only been here for 17. To do your maths, another 14 years, I'm not sure I could handle that. No, 15 if it's 31, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, a long time. So, knows the school inside out. Been here, we just say 1988.
Yes.
When your children come to the school here. There's no other staff who've been here that long, is there? I'm sure there's not.
I'm not sure. Maybe Mrs. Pitt was here then? I can't remember.
Possibly. Maybe Mrs. Bell, because she's still working.
Oh, Mrs. Bell definitely was.
Mrs. Bell was, yeah. Okay, so we'll go through a few questions with you. And some of these will be easier than others, and we'll change them around a bit. What are your highlights of the year that's just gone?
The highlights of any school year is when the kids are using the library and they come up at break time and lunch time, and I get to chat to them and they discuss all the funny things they've done, and it really lifts my day. You never know what you're going to do when you come in the door first thing in the morning, and every day is different. That's what I love.
That's what teaching's like as well, very much the same.
Yeah.
But you get a different experience of it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's great that kids still read books, and we need more reading books, don't we? So going on to some of the things you get up to. Have you got any hobbies?
I like walking, I like reading, I like knitting, I like visiting my children, my grandchildren, all sorts of things.
Are you one of these people who can knit at 100 miles an hour?
I'm afraid I do, yes.
Yeah, my mother, she used to always be knitting, and you could hear the clickety-click, clickety-click when you come into the room. But she was also a great cook. Right, books. Now, you being a librarian, I'm sure you're reading books all the time, aren't you?
I do, yes. I love reading.
So have you read any recently, or have you got a favourite book or books you intend to read?
I've read so many. I haven't got a particular favourite. I like some particular authors. I like Robin Hobb, who writes fantasy. I like Terry Pratchett for the same reason.
Brilliant. Did you see the TV series recently? It
was
on
did.
Netflix. I can't remember what it was called.
It was called Good Omens. It was based on a book that he wrote with Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
it's very
enjoyed
good.
That. Yeah,
but when I read the book, I didn't understand it, and now I do know.
Well, it was a bit
weird.
Out there, aren't they?
Yes, a little bit weird.
Different. Do you like? No, I love historical fiction. Do you like any historical fiction, like Philippa Gregory or anything like that?
I've not read any Philippa Gregory, so I can't comment on that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, obviously they go on the TV as well.
They
they've
do,
had
yes.
The White Princess, the White Queen.
Yeah.
So books, we knew there was going to be books was going to be a big film. What about films? You got any favourite films?
Again, I watch a lot of films. There are some films that you love watching again and again. Love Actually is one of those. I love watching that.
I used to watch that a lot.
I also very much like the BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, the one with Colin Firth.
I've not seen it.
It's amazing. You need to watch that. I have seen it umpteen zillion times, and it's brilliant every time.
Yeah, I've got to admit, Love Actually is one of them that a lot of people watch every Christmas, isn't it?
Yes. Well, whenever it's on, you sort of get sucked back into it, don't you?
Certainly do. TV programs. You got any favourite TV programs?
I don't very often watch television, to be honest.
Do you know what? I've had a lot of staff say that today. I think we've got such busy lifestyles these days to actually sit down and watch some TV in the evening. There's other things going on, aren't there?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I've been watching, I don't know if you've seen it on BBC, Gentleman Jack, just finished.
No, my husband watched that. I didn't.
I thought it was really good. But it's BBC, they always put good dramas
They
together,
do,
don't they?
yes.
Okay, so if you weren't working in a library for 30... have you always been in the library, by the way? Or were you doing other things?
I did have a former life.
Well, when I say that, I mean, in the school, did you ever do any other jobs?
I've helped in various departments. I've helped a lot with the music department.
Of course.
Because I play the piano, and I've also helped a lot with the Friends of Pittville, which is our PTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you mind saying what were your former jobs before?
Many moons ago, when I left college, I was a research scientist for ICI.
Oh, wow. In Gloucester?
In Gloucester,
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that. Wow. Not much of it left now. It's all split up into different
I haven't
units.
been back. I left when I had my first child and haven't been back since.
Yeah. Summer holidays, what sort of things do you get up to? You got any plans? What places do you like to visit? Do you do any day trips, holidays, places you like to go?
Well, every summer for the past 20 or 30 years, my husband and I have rented a field. Just a field from a farmer in Devon. We take our camper van and we park it in the corner of the field. And
no electricity?
No electricity, no. We have solar power.
Wow. But it is a bit glamping, though, isn't it?
It's a little bit, yes. It's a little bit roughing it.
You've got a camper van, not a tent.
Yes, well, we have tents as well on the side. We use those as living areas and storage.
See, I like my comforts, my home comforts. So when I've gone camping, it's been with Eurocamp. And you have your fridge and everything in the tent if you're in a tent.
That really is posh.
It is a bit. Or I've gone in a mobile home, a static rather.
Yes,
I've gone in there. So I like my things like that. Is there any places in the UK you like to go on day trips to?
No, I go all over the place.
You go all over the place.
Yes, I like North Wales a lot. We sometimes go camping in North Wales and take the bikes and cycle up and down.
Yeah, do you know what? I've only ever been to North Wales once. I need to get around a bit more.
It's beautiful, especially the coastline.
Yeah, well, I'm going to the Mumbles this year.
Oh, that's nice. I know
Never
that well.
been there.
That's lovely. It's on the very beginning of the Gower, and the Gower's got lovely beaches.
Yeah, and we're going to somewhere called Caswell Bay, little place.
I know it well.
And everyone tells me, lots of staff have been there. I think Mr. Liverland's been there. Mr. Nichols goes there nearly every year, and this is the first year in about 10 years he's not going there.
Oh, I love the Gower.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of people said how lovely it is.
It is.
So, what are you going to be getting up to in September this year?
Oh, no, I should like to spend more time with my grandchildren. I have 8 grandchildren, and I would like to go and visit and not have to come back because it's the beginning of term or the end of the weekend. It'd be nice
does that
to
mean
have
you'll be
time.
doing a lot of babysitting though?
Possibly. I don't mind.
You don't mind. It's okay though, because you can give them back at the end of the day. That is the best bit, because it can be really tiring.
Oh, grandchildren are lovely. You wait.
Now, from that last question, I think our listeners would, and a lot of people know this and the students know it, that you won't be back with us in September.
I won't. No, I'm retiring, I'm afraid.
And 31 years, you deserve that, don't you?
Thank you,
really?
sir.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for talking to us.
That's okay.
I know, are you going to carry on doing FOPs at all?
I don't know what I'm doing yet. I want to leave all my options open.
That's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we will be hearing from you again anyway.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll be coming back into the school. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The great Mrs. Hall, and how can we ever replace experience like that? I'm such an integral part of a school. Goes above and beyond, as a lot of staff do here, what they're expected to do, gets involved with Friends of Pittville School, does a lot of things for charity work, etc. So we'll be sorely missed. So we had to interview Miss Sorlin. It wouldn't have been right if we didn't, would it? So on with a bit more music now. Now this one, if I'm right, is She's So Lovely, Scouting for Girls. Here we go.
She looks just like them girls in Vogue. I love the way she plays it cool. I think that she is beautiful. She's so lovely, 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 she's so lovely. She's pretty, a fitty. She's got a boyfriend though, and that's a pity. She's flirty, turned 30. Ain't that the age a girl that's really dirty? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I love the way she bites her lip. I love the way she shakes them hips. I love the way she makes me drool. I think that she is beautiful. She's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, well she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely. A stunner, I wonder, was she this fit when she was 10 years younger? Come see me discreetly. She said she's got a trick or two to teach me. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I think that you are lovely. 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 I think that you are beautiful. She's so lovely. 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 I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Scouting for Girls there, and She's So Lovely. What a great upbeat track that is. Always been one of my favourites. Okay, so we're going to get back to a few interviews, and let's put the volume up on that one there. Keep forgetting to put volumes up and down. And this is yesterday. Went over to the Pitfall Learning Centre, and they were doing some craft work. Craft work? That's a German band, isn't it? Craft. Not as in V-craft, as in witchcraft. They were making things, and I'll let them explain themselves anyway in a moment. But to start with, this isn't directly linked to craft, but over there, Mrs. Regan, one of our TAs, was over there, and we decided to interview her about what she plans to do over the summer, etc. But instead of me interviewing, I thought I'd get a student, and we got a lovely young student called Isabel, year 7. Now, this is her very first time, and I put her on the spot. It was straight away when I was there. I gave her the iPad and the mic, said, would you like to interview Ms. Regan? And she didn't hesitate. She said yes. So, a bit of nerves, stumbles over a word sometimes, but what a great talent for the future. Maybe she could come and help us out from time to time on the radio show. So this is Isabel interviewing Mrs. Regan. Let's have a listen to this.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I'm going to introduce Miss Regan to you guys.
Morning, Isabel.
Hello. I'm going to ask questions about yourself. What are your highlights from this school year?
Seeing our year 11s through to their exams and seeing them do well.
Okay. Now, do you have any hobbies?
Reading. I read as often as I can, as much as I can.
That's
walking as well. Walking my dog.
That's good. What's your favourite film?
There's a couple: Mall Cop, Saving Private Ryan, and Forrest Gump.
Oh, that's good. What's your favourite TV programme?
Ooh, at the moment it's Love Island. I'm made to watch that. But generally it's reality programmes really. I haven't got a specific favourite.
Okay. If you weren't a teacher, what would you do? What would you do?
I think I would be something to do with animals, because I did a small animal course when I was younger, and I was looking to be a vet nurse. So something with animals.
That's good. In the summer holidays, what do you get up to?
Probably just going to do lots of day trips. Might fly up to Edinburgh and go to Edinburgh for a few nights. Apart from that, we're not going away on a big holiday. We're just going to take it as it comes.
That's good. What are you looking forward to when school starts again in September?
All the new little year 6s, now year 7 starting. It's so lovely when they first come in and they're all a little bit worried and scared, and we just sort of settle them down.
That's good. Well, thanks very much for joining us today. Can we take this opportunity to wish you all and to enjoy the school holidays?
What a lovely young lady. That's Isabel interviewing Mrs. Regan, and you can tell there was a lot of activity over there, music on in the background. It's quite a noisy place over there to interview, but I think it's great that we can go around where there's activities taking place. Of course, it's activity week here at Pittville School. Lots of things going on inside and outside the school. Big trip to West Midlands Safari Park today. We've had trips to Disneyland. They went to Barcelona last week. And lots of things. There's fishing going on today. I think you heard Tommy say about fishing earlier. He's going today. I'll have to catch up with him later, see if he did catch that big fish. But we're going to stay in room 48 where we were yesterday. And I went around before Isabel did that lovely interview. I went around interviewing some of the students and asked them what they get up to. Sometimes they're a little bit shy, sometimes I prompt them a bit, but they really did fantastic. Let's have a listen to some of the students over in room 48 yesterday. Okay, we're here in room 48. I'm now a roving reporter, going around finding out what our students are up to. And I'm just going to speak to Mia. Mia, what are you up to?
I'm making hammer beads.
Oh, what's he?
Hammer beads.
And what exactly is that?
Remember, people can't see, so you need to describe.
I'm making a knife.
Wow.
Well, they seem to be making some patterns with beads. Do you keep these after?
Pardon?
Do you keep these after?
Yeah, you iron them and then you keep them.
Iron them? Why would you iron them?
So they stick together.
Oh, right, I see. Just a few other questions. You up to anything exciting tomorrow?
I'm going to West Midlands.
West Midlands. You looking forward to that?
Yes.
Have you got any answers that don't involve the answer yes or no?
I passed out on many rides before.
What ride in particular?
The Twister one where you spin around.
Yeah, it sounds a bit too scary for me, and I don't think that's my cup of tea, so I'm going to go and interview another table now. So a bit scary over here with Mia. Okay, I'm now with Poppy, and she's going to tell me what she's making, because it looks a bit, hang on, I'm trying to work it out. It's got two eyes. Is the gold thing at the bottom of the beard?
No.
What is it?
It's a cone.
A cone? Oh, I see, it's like an ice cream.
Yeah.
And what flavour ice cream would that be?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay, no chocolate sprinkles on there?
No.
Don't you like additional things on your ice cream?
No, it just has to be just the ice cream.
Here's a thing for you. Have you ever been to Stroud and have you ever tried any Winston's ice cream?
I don't think so.
It's the best ice cream in the world. You should try it. It is absolutely yummy. What's going on over here? Because that looks a bit...
I'm using tissue paper to make a sunflower.
Tell the listeners your name.
Evie.
It's Evie Hallis.
I'm using tissue paper and I'm like going to make a sunflower with yellow, and I'm using black right now.
Sunflower's my favourite flower. You got any at home?
Yeah, I think so. My dad's growing some.
Yeah, they take a lot of water in, I tell you, and they're really, really nice in the garden. I had some grew all the way up to the ceiling, not the ceiling, the roof of the house, and they were massive. And I had a competition with Mr. Liveland. His were rubbish. Anyway, you enjoying it?
Yeah.
What are you up to tomorrow?
I'm going to West Midlands.
That makes two then. Going to West Midlands. What are you doing tomorrow, Poppy?
I'm going to West Midlands.
Okay, we've got lots of people excited about going to West Midlands tomorrow. Let's hope they don't get eaten by lions. Okay, just moved over onto another table. We've got Maya, Poppy and Grace, and they're making some rather colourful designs here. So we'll start with Poppy. What have you made there?
We're making a card.
Oh, is this a joint effort?
Yeah.
Sorry, what is it again?
A card.
Yeah, I can see it's a card, but what's on the card?
It's supposed to be a bunch of flowers.
Well, I was sort of getting that idea. It was a bunch of... I was wondering, is it a multicoloured ice cream or is it a bunch of flowers? So there you go, you clarified that. What's going on over here then, Maya?
I just made a little card.
Have we given up on that, or is it a work in progress? Oh no, look, that looks good. I love the heart. And a little where'd you get those little pegs? So we got borrowers in here. Do you know what a borrower is? You never read The Borrowers? You haven't lived. You need to listen, watch the film, The Borrowers, or go and read some of the books. So we've got some little pegs holding up a heart and a bit of bunting at the top. That looks really, really nice. Grace, what are we doing?
I'm making a card too. I don't really know what it's supposed to be.
This one over here, who's did that?
I did this one.
What, today?
Yeah.
That was rather quick.
Yeah.
Do you say anything other than yes and no?
No, not really.
She does, as you can tell. Really nice tree, got lots of multicoloured leaves, and maybe it's maybe an autumn tree with all the different colours. It looks really, really nice. What are you up to tomorrow, Grace?
We're going to West Midlands.
Oh, well, everyone so far I've asked is going to West Midlands. Do we have anyone going anywhere else?
No.
Boring lot this lot, aren't they? No, they're not really. West Midlands, great place to go. Are you going to go on any of the rides?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You got a favourite ride?
I don't remember. No.
Do you get scared?
No.
Oh, I do. I can't go on rides. I get really... I do. Have you ever been to Disneyland Paris? Did you do the Temple of Doom backwards ride? Roller coaster? No.
Yeah.
I hated it. It was really scary. Anyway, I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now. Okay, that was a lot of students over doing some craft work over in room 48 yesterday. Really having a lot of fun over there, making lots of different creations. They had to explain to me sometimes what they were doing and how they were doing it, because I didn't really understand. I need to maybe spend a bit more time doing a bit of craft myself. Okay, time for a little bit more music, and I'm sure everyone will like this. This is Mamma Mia. Well, it would be if I turn the sound up. There we go.
I've been cheated by you since I don't know when. So I made up my mind it must come to an end. Look at me now, will I ever learn? I don't know how, but I suddenly lose control. There's a fire within my soul. Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Oh, Mamma Mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Mamma Mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. My, I could never let you go. I've been angry and sad about things that you do. I can't count all the times that I told you we're through. And when you go, when you slam the door, I think you know that you won't be away too long. You know that I'm not that strong. Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, Mamma mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? Mama, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, even if I say Mama, leave me now and never. Mamma mia, it's a game we play. Mama, doesn't mean forever. Mamma mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? Mama, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. Mama, I could never let you go.
Well, let's hope you're all singing along to that, Mamma Mia. Right, we're going to get back to the staff interviews now. As I said earlier, Sam Martin's helping me out, and we were really having a lot of technical problems yesterday, and he was, we wouldn't have got by without him, really. And we were putting our heads, or banging our heads together, trying to figure out some problems we're having. It seems to be going a bit better today. Got it all working, no problems at all. And this has been recorded live, so we're recording live from room 13. Not an ideal place because you can hear all the echoes and bumps, and like I say, it's live, so sometimes if I haven't got something lined up ready to go, you hear all the mistakes. So we're not editing this, we're just going to put it out, and I'll put it onto the T drive for teachers to go and look at. It's too big to put on an email, it'll be far too big a file, but we'll hopefully also play it through the speakers and the TV screen in the cafeteria tomorrow morning and Friday morning. So we're going to do another staff interview, and like I said earlier, being helped out by Sam, and he basically headed up a lot of the interviews for the staff from this point in, and this is our interview yesterday with Mrs. Roach. Let's have a listen to this. Hi, good morning, this is Mr. McKnight, this is Pitfall School Radio. Now today we're hopefully going to do some live streaming later on, and you'll be able to catch us in the cafeteria. It'll be on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch us at break and lunch live, hopefully. But at the moment, we're going to interview a few staff. I'm here with Sam Mart, student reporter, and Mrs. Roach, and we're just going to have a little chat. Good morning, Mrs. Roach.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Okay, and we're just going to have a little chat about what Mrs. Roach likes to get up to, her hobbies, her interests, and find out a little bit more about her. Okay, over to you, Sam.
Alrighty, so first question, what are your highlights from the school year?
From the school year, coming in the morning before anyone else is here.
I'm just going to say I like leaving in the afternoon.
Alright, coming from that, do you have any hobbies?
I have lots of hobbies and not enough time to do them. I love music. I'm with Mr. McKnight. I love my music. Makes the world go round in a good way. I love food, and I don't get enough time to cook it or eat it. I love coffee. There you go. I love reading.
Have you read any recent books?
I have about 10 books beside my bed. Some of them are quite philosophical. Some of them are really silly. Rich Hall, I'm reading at the moment. Just laugh out loud.
Is that a stand-up comedian guy?
Yeah.
Is he Canadian?
American.
Yeah, well, he can
real
like
southern drawl.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Moving on. Do you have any favourite films?
Oh, Le Chocolat. I wonder why. I don't know why I love that film. I don't have a favourite film. I love lots of films. I can't think of one in particular.
So, going on from the film, do you have any favourite TV programmes?
I hardly ever get to watch TV, to be honest.
You mean to say you didn't watch Killing Eve?
I did. Okay, I did. I did watch Killing Eve. The first, I did. I was hooked on
and
that.
And The Bodyguard?
I did watch them.
Oh,
okay, there you go. Yeah,
sorry,
I get hooked on those. Yeah.
If you weren't a teacher, what do you think you would be?
A landscape gardener.
Ooh.
Gardening?
I love gardening.
Sounds a bit like hard work.
I just love being outside. Yeah, I'm too old for it now, but you know.
Oh, we wouldn't mention that on this programme. 21 plus a bit of VAT, I think.
Did you have a different job before becoming a teacher?
I did. I used to work in social housing before I went into teaching, and before that, I used to work in the British Embassy in Washington DC.
So, in America?
In America.
America.
Nice. America. In the summer holidays, what do you get up to?
Running around after my kids, generally. Listening to more music, trying to be outside, trying to get to the coast.
Do you go any places, countries, holidays?
I love to travel, but I haven't had much opportunity to do it. Quick pop over to Paris last year, Canada a few years ago. I love
all around the world.
Yeah, but I haven't. I don't think I'll be doing it this year.
Paris your favourite city?
No.
What's your favourite city?
My favourite city. Do you know, I love London, but I have yet to visit Prague. I'd like to go to Prague.
Bridges, cathedrals.
Yeah. I love Italy most, but not the cities so much.
No, the countryside. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Tuscany.
Yeah,
and the food, of course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I was watching. What was that? I was watching the other night. Is it Gino's Italian? I can't remember it.
Gino, yes.
Yeah, I was cracking up. It was really funny. Sorry, Sam, I interrupt.
Moving on to the start of the school year in September. What are you looking forward to?
I'm going to have a new tutor group, Year 7.
Year 7. Yeah. What house?
Stokes.
Yeah.
New
to the team.
I'm a newbie.
Yeah, we don't talk about Stokes.
Well, thank you for joining us. Can we get this opportunity to wish you well and to enjoy the school holidays?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And to you, all of you as well. Have a wonderful holiday.
Have a good holiday. Bye. What a lovely lady Mrs. Roach is, and like me, she likes her music. We both like listen to music. I think you heard that in the interview. And Sam, I think we had you can tell we're beginners at this. We had the levels on the mics a bit too loud there, and you might have heard a squeaky creak of a door. It wasn't a ghost or anything like that. That's two of our reporters who will be joining us in the autumn term. That's Edie and Jake, and as we get it going, they'll be taking over a lot of things from me. Hopefully I'll be in the background more and they'll take over more and more, but we've got a lot to organise between now and then, so shall we get on with a bit more music, and this some more staff interviews. The last one of yesterday, actually, it happened to be, I caught her in the corridor and said, will you come in for an interview? And luckily for us, she agreed to do so, and we had a little bit of a chat with her. Again, we've got Sam on the main, but me introducing. So let's have a listen to Sam's interview with Mrs. Foster.
Okay, this
yesterday.
Is our fourth staff interview of the day, and we're going up the chain now. We're going up to the senior leadership team. So we've just had someone who's been with us for 31 years, Mrs. Horlin, and now we're with Mrs. Foster. So we're going to ask Mrs. Foster a few questions about her interest, what she likes to get up to, and maybe something about the school as well. Okay. Is it afternoon? Oh, it's afternoon. Afternoon, Mrs. Foster.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so we're going to find out a little bit about you. What do you think the highlights now? I know what a lot of the staff have been saying, and I guarantee this is going to come up again. What's your highlight of the school year?
Oh, that's difficult. There's always lots of them. I think for me this year, it was my year 11s. They were absolute stars. Particularly, I had the 11-1, obviously my triple science, but 11-3, a lot of those I taught through from year 7. So I hope they do really well this summer because they were brilliant.
Yeah, we'll be on tender. What date is it we're coming in?
22nd of August.
22nd of August. There'll be staff there. Probably just as nervous as the kids. So you didn't say the thing I thought you were going to say,
what was
which
that?
was Ofsted. But I'm glad about that because a lot of people have said that already. Okay, hobbies. Do you have any?
Oh, probably my main one that most people know about is I do like to travel. I do that quite a lot. And then apart from that, I do read a lot at home. I'm doing some studying at the moment, and I like walking, actually, going to the gym. But yeah, travel's probably my biggest hobby.
Where's your favourite place you've been?
That's difficult. Probably the Gobi Desert in Mongolia.
Not Skegness.
Not Skegness, no. Although
Gobi
it is
Desert.
lovely.
But wasn't Gobi Desert, I think I talked to you about this, wasn't it a lot of the same?
No, it changes as you drive across it. Yeah, it does. It does change.
Was it Joanna Lumley? Didn't she go across Mongolia?
She did part of it. She did the Silk Road. We went through the desert bit, not quite so Silk Road, more nothingness, really. Hours and hours of it is marvellous.
Yeah. So you got a favourite place in Europe?
Oh, again, a tough one. I really like Berlin. Yeah, I like Berlin. It's a great place to visit. But also probably, I know Mr. Wade and I agree on this, we both love Krakow in Poland.
Wow.
Lovely city.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, great cakes.
Yeah, who was it? I think it was Mrs. Taylor, Kate.
Yeah.
She was saying about organising. I think she's done trips there before in the past.
Yeah,
from school,
just gorgeous city, but great food, great pastries. Yeah,
maybe I shouldn't go there then. So books. Are you reading books at the moment, or any books that you like, or any favourite books, or books you intend to read?
Yeah, I love reading. I suppose one of the hardest things about teaching is I don't get to read for pleasure as much as I used to. Years and years ago, I used to read when I commuted. Some students will know my favourite books are Douglas Adams. I absolutely adore Hitchhiker's Guide and all of his stuff. Most recently, I'm trying to think what I've read most recently. I've returned and read some Margaret Atwood's. I think she's great. And very recently, I read the latest Susan Hill. I really enjoy her books.
I think you get more time to read than you're letting on, because I don't get that much time. It's finding the time, though, isn't it?
Big fan of audiobooks because I can listen to those in the car at the gym. So I can go for a run and put a book on.
That's where I cheat.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of history podcasts as well as audiobooks, but I'm a bit lazy now. I've got to admit, getting a book in your hand, though, when you're on holiday, that's the best thing, isn't it? Films? You got any favourite films?
Getting tough one. There's so many. I think of the recent years, I really love The Martian. I mean, who didn't? It's a lovely Matt Damon film. But obviously, if you're a scientist and like me, my background in space science, I absolutely love that. Lots of it's quite realistic. All the best sci-fi is quite realistic. So yeah, I really like that.
Isn't it the anniversary, 50 years?
Going to the Moon, yes, launched today, 22nd of July.
Really, really important day today.
It is a very important day today, yeah.
Yeah, and I only know that because I was listening to the radio this morning. And what have I been watching? With some of my students, we've been doing a thing on discrimination, and we've watched the film called Hidden. Have you seen that
No, I
one?
haven't seen Hidden, no.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic about these ladies who were called computers.
Yeah.
In NASA, and not only that, they were segregated and they were really up against it, but they really were the hidden figures behind the space race.
Lots of female mathematicians, both in this country and the US.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that come over it. It was lots of different issues going on in the film. It wasn't just racism, gender issues, and a lot of the prejudices from the staff there at the time. It was really fantastic. You ought to watch it. Right, favourite TV programmes, do you have any?
Lots actually. I watch probably more TV than I should. Line of Duty, love that.
You're the only person who said Line of Duty, and I
Really?
was waiting for someone to say it today.
I love that. It's
I've
brilliant.
not watched it.
Yeah, and I quite like. There's a US one called Elementary with Johnny Lee Miller in. I like that as well. Lucy Liu. I quite often watch detective ones at home because it's nice, easy viewing.
I've watched Elementary.
Yeah,
Good
I
programme.
really like that sort of stuff. Yeah, brilliant. And years ago, I used to love all the PD Jameses. So hoping Martin Shaw makes some more of those.
Right. Did you see any of the latest ones like Killing Eve?
Yes, like that. Yeah.
What else is there? There was another one on there recently, but I can't remember what it is. But on Netflix now, you can just binge watch them, can't you?
Oh yeah, and Amazon Prime. Yeah, love a good Amazon Prime
I've got to
series.
admit, I've got Amazon Prime and Netflix.
Oh,
I've got both.
The Omens one, Good Omens. Yeah, of course, that was
Yeah.
on Amazon recently.
Terry Pratchett.
Really good. Yeah, great one. That was.
Mrs. Hawlins, that was one of her favourites.
Yeah, really good adaptation. I've heard it on the radio, so I've done that as an audiobook. But yeah, they've done that on the on Amazon Prime. Fantastic. It's got David Tennant in. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. I've got to admit, I don't read. I've never read a Terry Pratchett book, but Mrs. Hawlins said she read the books, but only really fully understood it more when she saw the film. Right. If you weren't a teacher, now I know you've had other jobs, but if you weren't a teacher now and you wanted to change careers now, what do you think you'd be?
See, I don't know, because that's all I ever wanted to do. I mean, I have had other jobs and they've been brilliant, but I always wanted to teach in the end. And whenever I think about this, I come back to the fact that actually being in the classroom is still the best thing I do.
It is.
And it's a favourite bit of my day. You know, being a deputy head has lots of great things you do, but the teaching is still my favourite bit.
Yeah, it is, me too, and I've got to admit it should be for everyone because it's what we're about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's our main job and role. Mainly a teacher. You have had other jobs though. What other jobs you had?
Yeah, well, it depends how far back you
Students
go,
would know
really.
this, of
Yeah,
course.
well, not necessarily, some will, but I mean, going right back to the beginning. When I was a student, I did things like paper rounds, shop jobs. I stuffed envelopes for a day once. That was really boring. I've done temping work, receptionist work. But in terms of sort of my job since I left university, I was an aviation engineer for 2.5 years with the Ministry of Defence. And
Was
they
that
trained
local,
me.
like Bristol?
No, I started at Farnborough.
Yeah.
If you go down there now, it's not an MOD place anymore. It belongs to British Aerospace. But I trained there at the RAE. I also trained at Bedford at the tunnel site. So that's the wind tunnel site. And after that, I went to work in London. I was an insurance broker for 4 years in the aviation and space industries. So still working with engineers, engineering and finance, risk management.
You don't miss it though?
No, it was interesting, but I always knew I wanted to teach. So it was always something I did, sort of. I wanted to come into teaching later. I was advised to do that, and that's what I did. But it was a great job. I got to travel, got to meet lots of people, got to visit sort of NASA and Cape Kennedy and all those sorts of things, and work with some people in France, Germany, Malaysia. Really interesting. Met some of the Russian space team, which was a real once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's been fascinating today, like talking to staff. Some of the things they've done are mind-blowing. Like Mrs. Roach, she used to work in the embassy in Washington, DC.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Amazing job.
Some of the things we find out about people.
Yeah.
Okay, summer holidays. You've already said you like travelling.
Yes.
And places you've been. You got anything planned for this year?
Yeah, it's quite tame this year. Last year I did a bit of Asia, so I did Vietnam and Cambodia, and then this year I went back to Thailand actually at Easter to meet up with a friend of mine. But this summer, quite a tame one actually. We're doing the Baltic states, so we're doing Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, and that's with the family actually. It's a big family do this year. So
oh wow,
yeah, 2 weeks.
Any ties to those countries?
No, although I know we have students who do.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Right.
no, not for me.
You ought to watch the Hairy Bikers. They went out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they did some of the local foods. It was really interesting. Latvia, they did Poland, Latvia. What's the other one?
Lithuania, Latvia,
Yeah.
and Estonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Other
we're starting
ones?
at the top, working our way down. So yeah, it'd be great.
So, what are you looking forward to in September?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. My role changes next year,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to hopefully somebody else doing lots more work. That would be great. Yeah, it's always nice to meet your new classes. Some of my classes I'll keep at GCSE, which would be lovely, but it's always nice to meet the new Year 7s, teaching some new classes. I haven't taught much lower school this year, so I should get at least a Year 8 or Year 9 this year that I haven't met, which would be great.
It's nice having Year 7s though, isn't it? And going through, if you can go through, it's never happened for me because of the way the timetables work out. You don't get the same guys all the way through. Sometimes you do, it's very rare.
Yeah, I think that's why this Year 11 was great, because I taught a lot of them for several years, and
Yeah.
it's great that.
Anyway, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have a really good summer holiday, and we'll see you again in September.
Will do.
Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, that was Mrs. Foster there, telling us about some of the amazing places. She always goes on these fantastic holidays. I always get a little bit jealous, actually. I'm going to the Mumbles, as I mentioned earlier, to Mrs. Hawlin in Wales this year. I'm sure some of you guys are going on some fantastic holidays this year. I hope you have a great summer holiday. Okay, we're going to play a little bit more music. Now, this guy... was it last year he was at Kingsholm? I think it was last year, certainly in the last couple of years. I'm pretty certain it was last year and it was raining. Okay, so this is Lionel Richie and All Night Long.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on. Everybody sing, everybody dance. Lose yourself in wild romance. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. All night long, all night, all night, all night, all night long, all night, all night, all night, all night long, all night, all night, all night long, all night. People dancing all in the street. See the rhythm all in their feet. Life is good, wild and sweet. Let the music play on, play on, play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul. Let the music take control. We're going to party, climbing, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing my song. All night long, all night, oh, all night, all night long, all night, yes, all night long, all night, yeah, all night long, all night, yeah. Once you get started, you can't sit down. Come join the fun, it's a merry-go-round. Everyone's dancing their troubles away. Come join our party, see how we play. Sambolite said the moya. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo, wait to party, oh, we're going. Oh, jumbo now, Sambolite said the moya. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo. Oh, yeah.
Lionel Richie all night long. Used to love the Commodores myself when I was younger, but certainly some of the Lionel Richie tracks as well. Okay, so we interviewed a few more staff today. Probably got time to do another couple of interviews, another couple of tracks now on my playlist. I've only got, I've got 2 more tracks, 2 more interviews. That should take us to about 12:30. And that means, because we've been recording now for, let's have a look, 1 hour 28 minutes, so it's going to be nearly 2 hours long, this show, which is what we're aiming for today. We won't be doing that long when we're live in the autumn. Most of it is a 14-minute, half an hour program in the afternoon. Anyway, we are going to play some more music, and the problem is I need to turn that volume down because I need to look for another track. I think this one is number 12. Okay, that should be lined up, so we'll do that in a moment. And we're going to play another interview. So this morning, myself and Sam taking the lead on a lot of the questions. We interviewed a couple of the PE staff. We're hoping to interview more. Sam is currently helping out over in catering, where they're doing baking for the day, and he's going to interview a few more students over there, and hopefully we'll get those interviews on in the autumn term. So this morning, one of the first people down the corridor, I saw his big smile as usual coming down the corridor. I thought, he'll have an interview. He likes talking about himself. It's Mr. Kavanagh, so let's have a listen to what he had to say. Good morning, this is Mr. McKnight on Pitfall School Radio. We have our 5th teacher guest with us today. We've got Mr. Kavanagh.
Good morning, Mr. McKnight.
Morning.
Morning, Radio Pittville.
Yeah, and we're with Sam as well. Say hi,
morning.
Sam.
Hello.
Morning, Sam. How are you doing this morning, Sam?
Alright, tired, getting through it.
Good.
Yeah.
Second day in.
We worked really hard on this yesterday because we had a lot of technical issues, so well done on that, Sam.
Well done, Sam.
Okay, so we're going to ask you a few questions about
Go easy
school.
on me. Go easy on me, Mr. McKnight.
We always go easy on a beginner. Okay, right, away you go then, Sam.
Alright, so first question, what is your highlight from the school year?
From the school year, probably 2 things stick in my head. The first one, earlier on this year, I don't know if you know, Mr. Litherland managed to run a double marathon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he raised over £1,000 for our Heidi's Hero School charity, which is our Livingston House charity. I actually met him, up over the back there, up on Ham Hill, after he'd done 26 mile, so he'd already completed a marathon, and there was over 2,000 competitors for this ultra marathon, and he was actually in 20th place, starting off from Stroud, running up and down, all following the Cotswold sort of way. He'd obviously gone a bit too fast, and he was flagging a little bit, but we were so proud of him. Myself, Mr. Watkins went up there, Mrs. Kavanagh. We went up there, and also Paul Wood was up there, who was the husband of Heidi, who set up the charity. So it was a real special sort of moment. And then he managed to carry on, got to Broadway, around about 6 hours later he managed to do a few pit stops on the second leg.
Was Broadway the finish point?
Yeah, Broadway Tarrier. He managed to get all the way up there, so very, very proud of him. So that was a great achievement, I think, this year. I'm hoping to present, we're going to present the cheque in September.
Yeah.
During the first few weeks back.
Be brilliant.
And then secondly, from a school point of view, we put ourselves in the running, hopefully, to win the overall House Cup this year again, because of our because of our
there'd be no drinking out of the cup, please.
Either out on the front field or I won't drink out of that, so no.
No, well, he's got a habit of doing that.
He's got a habit.
And then we did really well on Sports Day, winning 2 of the year groups. But I thought Sports Day this year was great because it was all shared anyway. 3 different houses winning different year groups, so it's getting a bit closer each year.
Just a note to self: put thousands of stamps on Aston tonight.
So it's all closed off, so you missed it.
Oh, I forgot to put the last ones on as well, so we've got even less. Sorry, Sam.
So those are the two things.
Yeah. Sports Day was actually probably one of mine as well. It was year 10 coming up to the final Sports Day. I don't really like doing sports, but it's the type of thing where you can join together and you can support not just your houses but your friends as well?
Of course, yeah. I think it brings a whole school community
Mm.
together. I think
Yeah.
it's a great day. I think it's a real big event now, and long may it continue. I think it's
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
we all
good
look forward
fun.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Do you have any hobbies?
Well, my hobby at the moment is my new son. It takes up all my time. We're lucky, Mrs. Karen and I had a baby boy this year.
Hobbies stopped for another 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So
18.
when I can get out, Mr. McKnight knows this. I do go for the odd run, but my hobbies now are just walking with, doing things with going to parks, doing stuff with Mrs. Kavanagh and my son William. Yeah, so he takes up all our time. He used to play a lot of football and try and play a bit of golf, but even that's gone out the window since birth of.
Are these excuses because the body's giving up?
The
though,
body's
or-
giving up. Yeah. We won't mention anything about bodies, sir.
No, better not.
Yeah, but those really. Yeah. What else do I do? Listen to a few podcasts. They help me fall asleep sometimes when I can't sleep. But
you could listen back
and
to
then-
this. I'll say.
Yeah, listen back to this. So nothing. Just really taken up with family now at the moment. Yeah. Like taking him swimming. He loves the water. So we're going away next week for a couple of weeks and got our own little pool. So have a bit of a splash with him. So.
That's a question coming up.
I'm
You
sorry.
could do that one now if you want.
Sorry.
Actually.
I didn't see. Sorry,
Yeah, that's all right.
So speaking about holidays, what places are you going to go during the summer holidays?
We'll go to. We're off to near the Dordogne, so about 2/3 down into France.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for 2 weeks in Egypte with its own pool and sort of undercover sort of area with a play area. We're going with family, yeah. So we're all going to meet up down there. We're very fortunate, very very lucky. So
Do you speak the language?
Do
you try?
Yeah, I try. Oui.
That's it.
I can ask for a baguette, croissant.
Well, the first time I went to France, my missus was saying you must ask, because we were going to stop off for some food, ask in French. I said, well, I'll practice. And anyway, I spotted a McDonald's on the side of the road. So I said, we're going now, I can point. But I was practicing Je voudrais le grand beef sandwich, s'il vous plaît. And I got it, and I was waiting in the queue, getting further and further towards the queue, and I was getting myself psyched up. And instead of saying Je voudrais le grand beef sandwich, s'il vous plaît, I said Je m'appelle le grand beef sandwich.
Your name is beef sandwich.
My name is a Big Mac, which is technically true, but of course they were falling apart. Sorry, I went too far there.
Yeah, I try and do a little bit of French. I think you should. I think it's important that you try it.
Yeah,
I think
you
they
should.
respect that as well. We shouldn't all expect that everyone, even though I know English is an international language, I don't think it's nice if you're in that country that you should try and have a go at it. And I enjoy it. I love France. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So speaking about holidays, what is your favourite place to go? City, country?
Okay, city-wise, probably. I've not done long haul. I've not been able to afford
It's
to do
not
that.
West Bromwich, is it?
No, it's not West. No, Smedley. Town. No. I've been lucky. I like Barcelona a lot.
Yeah.
I've been to Madrid and Rome. So out of those, I love London. I haven't been to London for a couple of years though. So probably those few for different reasons. Barcelona, I think, gives you everything.
Yeah.
You've got a great city vibe, and it's also on the coast.
Yeah, you've got the beach nearby as
and
well.
It's not too far either in terms of flights, and so probably would say Barcelona out of everywhere. Yeah, it's a great place.
So is Spain generally a favourite country? Or France?
Yeah, Spain. I like Mallorca as well. I've been lucky enough to go on holiday in Mallorca. Out of the two, different reasons. I like the fact you can drive through France. I like that.
Yeah,
but,
I do.
But also, if you're feeling like you've got a bit of money, if you can fly to somewhere like Mallorca, it's only 2.5 hours. It's a great island. Or Spain, mainland Spain's gorgeous as well.
I haven't done a lot of Spain, but if you had to choose of only one, skiing or beach, you could only do one this year.
That's a brilliant question. Probably beach this year. Probably beach. Yeah, a bit selfishly this year I went on the ski trip, which is I know this is being recorded and you'd probably go out live. But I shouldn't have probably gone, as my son was only 3 months old, but Mrs. Kavanagh let me go. But went on the school ski trip. But I'd actually like to take him when he's a bit older. I think it's a real, it's a great skill to, yeah. So, but yeah, probably just ahead beach holiday.
Have you read any books recently?
Another good question. No, not
Has he ever read any?
As I
PE teacher, remember Sam? PE teacher. Just don't forget.
Yeah, I like the Matthew Said sort of the guy who writes. He's written things about how it's black box thinking and sporting sort of psychology and that sort of those sort of books. He's written Bounce, which is a really good book to read. So there's lots of things like I quite like the sports psychology and why people, the argument about the 10,000 hours about talent or innate ability and that. So those are the ones that I've read. I mean, I'm going to take a book on holiday, whether I pick it up or not's another thing. But yeah, I do. It's only in the holidays, really.
Do you know what? You're the fifth teacher, and on that question, everyone's saying they haven't got time to read, and the only time is the holiday. And even then, their lifestyle's so busy. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, finding time to read.
We try and do as a family. We'll do like when we're away. We'll do. I know this might sound quite dull, but we'll do like a crossword together. That's quite fun.
Yeah, they are. I do that.
We get found out between us. It's quite good. Yeah. We'll sort of chip in with that. But yeah, so those are the books. If I am going to read, it's something like that.
Okay, we're going to cut that one short because, as I said at the beginning of that interview, there, I mentioned it. Mr. Kavanagh, might talk for a bit longer than the other teachers, and guess what? The average time for the other teachers was about 8-minute interview. Mr. Kavanagh, 16 minutes and 30 seconds. So what we'll do, great interview though, wasn't it? Always a great man to have a chat with as well. So knowledgeable. We're going to have the rest of that interview in the autumn term, so I'll play some of it because I've got a few others that we've recorded, and we'll play that and the other interviews in the autumn term. We're going to do one more interview today, but we've got 2 more bits of music. We're going to finish off on a bit of music, but we'll have one more bit of music followed by the final interview, followed by the last bit of music, which is a bit of a disco track chosen by myself. For now, we're going to have this one, so we're finishing off actually on 2 disco tracks, and this one's by Candy Staton and it's called Young Hearts Run Free.
What's the sense in sharing this one and only life, ending up just another lost and lonely wife? You count up the years and they will be filled with tears. Love only breaks up to start over again. You'll get the babies, but you won't have your man, while he's busy loving every woman that he can. Say I'm gonna leave 100 times
Candy Staten there. Young Hearts Run Through. What a great disco track. I used to love that back in the day. Yes, I'm showing my age there, but nothing wrong with a bit of disco, is there? Right, let's take the volume down on that. And what we're going to do, we're going to we're going to play, I've found it, our final interview. Now, these interviews have been quite long. This is sort of a practice, sort of dry run session for Pittville School Radio, so the interviews will be 5-minute interviews in the autumn, no longer, and we'll shorten them down, have more music, more other features like sports features, guest features, student performers, things like that, and hopefully will be a mix of different things that hopefully will appeal to lots of you. So our final interview of today, and we recorded it early this morning. Now you might have noticed during Mr. Kavanagh's interview there was a big squeak again of a door and a bang. That was our next interviewee coming in, our next guest, and that is Mrs. Crow. So we got the female side of the PE now, and let's have a listen to what Mrs. Crow had to tell us. Okay, good morning. We're now having a 6th teacher interview, yes, 6. And we've got Miss Crow with us. So hopefully we've had one PE teacher, and now we've got the ladies' side of PE, and we'll get a different perspective on things. Good morning, Mrs. Crow.
Morning.
And morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Okay, over to you, Sam.
Alright, so starting off the questions, what is your highlights from the school year?
Oh, there's been lots of highlights. If we're talking about sporting highlights, it could be our Year 10s beating Pates at Rounders. We've never, ever beat Pates at anything. So that was amazing. Again, our Year 10 netball team, that was with Rounders, yeah. So our Year 10 netball team, their A and B team, played in a tournament at St Edwards, and the A team won the tournament and the B team came runners-up, which is another amazing highlight. Beating Balcarras at netball, again, that's very rare.
Yeah, we like beating Balcarras at anything.
Anything, yeah. The Year 9s went to the county tournament, the district county netball tournament, and they're a very, very strong year group, and they performed the best we ever have done there. We always have to play against grammar schools and private schools, and so we're always at a bit of a disadvantage, and we normally are lucky to score a couple of goals within the whole tournament, but we actually managed to win a game, draw a game, and then we lost a couple of games as well, but really, really close games. So they performed really well. So that's sort of sporting highlights. Back working with Miss Berry again, which is just amazing. Obviously I worked with her about 4 years ago, and then she left us to go to Beaufort, but then she came crawling back. But it's been great working with her, but obviously she does my head in many times. Because she's scatty.
Got so much energy.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of energy, but to keep
and when
on
you
toe
think
with her,
at the moment how much energy she has,
my God.
I'm embarrassed about myself.
Well, yesterday when we were down the Lido, she we were like, oh right, we're going to go in the pool. She was like, yeah, so I'm just an hour and about which lane to go in. And I was like, well, I'm probably going to go in that medium one. She was like, She didn't say anything to me, and then when I got in, I realised she had got in, not the training lane, which was the one up from medium, the triathlon training lane, and she was just absolutely smashing it. Wow. We got out about the same time, and I said, right, I'm getting out now, I've done my 20 lengths. And she was like, yeah, she said that they're getting on my nerves actually. She said they keep getting in my way. I was like, you for real? She does all like the circuit, she does everything that I can and more.
Yeah.
So she's
so
great.
much energy.
Yeah, so it's great to be back and to having Miss Guinan back as well. So like the three amigos back together, it's just lush.
Yeah, you all work well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a yellow band you could give back to it, stapled together.
Oh, from where they've been flicking them at each other.
Yeah, some of my tutees are in bits, and they've stapled the bands and sellotaped them together.
My God. So they're that desperate to go to this amazing event, which I'm not saying what it is yet.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
So carrying on from that, do you have any hobbies?
Yes, so as I sort of spoke about a little bit then, that we do our staff circuits. I love running. Often the students see me out there in the morning going around the field, but sometimes if I can fit it into the school day I will, or after school. I try and do it before I get home, because when I get home I've got the kids to look after, so I try and do it at school at some point. I play netball. The season's out at the moment, but netball season will start again soon. Play for Gloucester Ladies. just basically sport and sort of socialising, if that can be a hobby. I love socialising.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Going
we
out
love
with friends
that.
and family.
So, moving on, have you read any recent books?
The answer is no, I haven't read any recent books, but I just started reading one, setting myself up ready for the summer, because I only really have time to commit to a book in the summer.
Mr. Kavanagh said that we've all said the same.
Yeah.
All the teachers.
I'd love
when
to
do we
read
get
more.
to read?
Yeah, because by the time I get to bed, I am exhausted.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I've started reading a book called Room, and it's also a film. I don't know if you've seen it. It's based on a true story about a woman who, it's quite like sort of real life stories, but and I kind of like sad stories, which is a bit weird. But so she's a girl that got kidnapped from a young age, and this man kidnapped her and made a shed for her in the back garden, locks her away in the shed.
I have seen the film.
Yeah, and it's just got a skylight in it.
Yeah, seen
and
it.
then anyway, he
Very powerful.
abuses her and whatever, and she becomes pregnant. She has this child. So the film starts with, and actually so does the book, from the sort of child's point of view. So the boy has never known anything different by living in this tiny little space. And it's all about like his escape and how they cope after as well. So I'm not going to go into too much detail in case I spoil it, but it's absolutely...
I find it a little bit disturbing.
In fact, when I watched it, it was like a roller coaster ride. I just couldn't sit still. But I kind of like stuff like that because it's got a happy ending.
Yeah.
You know? So I like true stories as long as they've got a happy ending.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to cut that one short as well, because guess what? I thought Mr. Kavanagh would have the most to say, but I was wrong. It's Mrs. Crowe, sorry. Mr. Kavanagh was 16 minutes and 30 seconds long. And guess what? Miss Crowe takes the longest interview of the day, 18 minutes and 42. So I've played just under 6 minutes of that, and we'll play some more of that in the autumn term. So we're going to finish off now. I'm going to wish you all a great summer. Have a great rest. Relax. Also I hope you have some fun on your holidays as well. But come back refreshed, ready to go. Of course, we've got all our new Year 7s coming to join us. That'll be exciting. We have some new staff included in the RE department where I work. And I reckon it's going to be a great year. We've got the results to look forward to in August. So August 22nd I'll be in, hopefully. And hopefully some of the students will be getting some great results. I'll be interviewing Mr. Gilpin a bit later. We'll put that on a separate podcast or something. And for now, we're going to leave you. I'm going to leave you one of my favourite disco tracks. And this is a shorter radio edit, so we'll probably play the whole thing. So I'm off just because no one interviewed me. I'm not that interested. I'm off on my holidays in a couple of weeks' time to Wales. In between, I'll be doing a bit of DJing. I'm DJing at a couple of events, including a street party this weekend. And Soul All Day in Tewkesbury raising money for charity, and I'll be doing a few live broadcasts on YouTube. So until September, I wish you all well. Have a great summer. This is the Tramps and Disco Inferno.